Thank you, Milan. Thank you, Milan, for the wonderful introduction. At Salesforce, we have always been thinking about our customer journeys. And we have really embraced the whole shift towards data-driven applications. That's really why Fisher and Paykel, as example, is able to connect the IoT signals from the refrigerator to the next field service agent. It's the same is true when you really think about a major airline like Air India merging with Vistara and bringing customers together. SiriusXM, as example, knows when to reach me at the right moment with the right offer to move me forward when it comes to subscription re-enablement. This has been a foundational shift for us. That's one of the reasons why we are seeing amazing adoption. Just this past quarter, we had more than 2.3 quadrillion records that we processed. More important than that is the fact that we had 1.1 trillion activations. What are these activations? Just think about it. This is the touch point that our customers have had with their customers in interesting ways to really lift their business forward. Now, we did not come about this in vacuum. We really lean into our customers to try to understand what did they do. At the heart of it, we all understand as data practitioners, enterprise data is trapped and siloed in applications, thousands of them. In fact, in Salesforce ourselves, we have tons of them. There is, of course, the combination of lakes and warehouses that people have created, creating a real chasm between where the information is versus where the action needs to be with the customers. The integration complexity is paramount to understand here through the lens of the different patterns. Some were doing it for AI, some were doing it for BI use cases, some were just building it for decisioning, so on and so forth. And everybody always thinks about it as a data problem. At Salesforce, we had a fundamentally different learning as we dive deep into it. First, it was about metadata. It's also about the semantic data. It's about the security. And last but not least, how do you really action all of this somewhere? So that's why we fundamentally reimagined the entire Salesforce stack on Salesforce platform from the ground up with every piece of information that's relevant for the enterprise. Whether it is inside Salesforce or outside Salesforce, we wanted to activate all of that information. We wanted to create an inversion from data to insights, which gets orchestrated into applications, and now across to the agents. With Agentforce, now you're able to bring together humans, agents, data, and CRM all in the same flow. Let's see how this all comes together in action. So here, I'm role-playing. I'm Ken, a bank customer, and I have my credit cards. Now I'm able to have a nice conversation here to bring together all of my activities from my credit card details and transactions from a warehouse. Equally, I'm also able to understand my APRs and the fees. When was the last time you guys remember where it is that you signed up for? This is unstructured data in S3 that is coming seamlessly in context. Now, there is also interesting nuances around agents, that is guardrails. Not all agents are created equal, and security is paramount. Here, as Ken is going to go about and asking for a credit line increase, it's super important to understand the role of humans. Seamlessly, because the data is the same, the metadata is the same, the context is the same, we are now going to be able to transfer Ken to a human agent in the form of Alex. With this power of the Salesforce Service Console, Alex is able to see everything that has just happened in context just so far. She's able to reason over what is going on. Normally, she would have swivel chaired over 10 applications to answer. Now, thanks to her own employee-facing agent, she's not only able to see the basic information about the requests and what Ken has in his view, she's able to see much more deeper. With the Mule API, she's able to see what's the credit score. She's able to see much more deeper activities that he has done, including the credit card activities of his spouse. Now, organizations also have a lot of policies that are documents that are sitting everywhere. This unstructured content needs to come to life in this flow where she's able to understand the policies of credit scores with how much limits are allowed. This is foundationally important to understand how this all comes together in an agentic reasoning way. Now she's asking a loaded question to say, what should I do with Ken? It's bringing the structured data from CRM, the structured data from the warehouse, the unstructured data from the S3. It's also bringing all of the APIs to bear to say what should be the next steps. But it's super easy with Salesforce, thanks to our flow, where you can now automate all of that behind the scenes to go and really manifest this new change for credit line increase. That is the power of humans, data, AI, CRM, all coming together in this agentic ecosystem. Now, You're all technologists. You might be wondering, how is this all coming together? First and foremost, our fundamental philosophy is open and extensible. What do we really mean by open and extensible? First, every piece of Salesforce information is now available in Data Cloud in 60 seconds or less in the form of a parquet with an iceberg. Now, we didn't stop there because we really needed to understand the semantics. As I said it before, the source objects have to be serialized down. As example, we know which specific folder in S3 has the order and which one has the order details. This semantic information is piped down, which is allowing all our applications to seamlessly access the information with the right model. As Milan alluded, this is the data API of Salesforce. We call it data as a service that's now ubiquitous across our ecosystem for all our applications, sales, service, marketing, everything to consume. That's why we were able to unlock the demo you just saw before. The second aspect of it is this also allowed us to reimagine the entirety of the enterprise data. Thanks to partnerships with Redshift, as example, we are now able to take any piece of information in Redshift, any table, and any schema, and make that seamlessly available with zero copy and in the form of both the metadata and the data. So you can use it in Flow, Apex, or the agent itself. Equally, anything that is there in the Salesforce ecosystem can now be manifesting itself in Redshift for the next query execution for your analytics workload. This has been a foundational shift for us to embrace the entirety of the enterprise. Now, it's great. We got all the data. What's next? We really need to think about how we think about processing that information. As data practitioners, we always think about data quality and governance in the sense of how do we structure our pipelines. But now, more important than ever, is how are you going to harmonize? There's going to be tons of order data, tons of customer information from all of these applications. So thanks to the Salesforce information model, we have 700+ objects right in there, which is going to get you started in your journey of how you think about harmonization of your schemas. Once you harmonize the schemas, there's still the nuance around customers, accounts, and entities that you need to do with regard to identity resolution before you can take action so that you know the right Ken and the right Ravi that you're working with. When we looked at unstructured information, we don't see it as any different. It's equally important for us to really give structure to the unstructured. That's one of the reasons why, in addition to the classic RAG pattern underneath that you would expect that we would have, we are also be able to seamlessly marry that with the structured information. Now, as we move forward, it's super important to think about governance. It's great that we got all the data from all over the enterprise. It's great that we have harmonized it. What are we going to do? It's equally important to really embrace and build a new system of governance. What we had to do was connect the RBAC system that you typically have in enterprise applications with a new generative AI-led policy system. This system is automatically scanning all your data, all your metadata, to really propose what should be the right classification, what should be the right policies, and how these policies should manifest themselves in the context of these different agents. The demonstration you saw where the employee agent had much more broader security primitives than the consumer agent is a reflection of the system. We were able to do both object level, field level, record level, and masking all in the demonstration as you saw before. This is foundational as we all embark on this agentic journey. Now, in many ways, we have blurred the lines by breaking open all the strapped data and all the silos, and data fluidity is the norm, not data center of gravity as we see it. Once you have that, it's super important to think about harmonization and unification. Then comes the whole notion around governance, tagging, classification, and security. But more important than that is how are you going to activate it? How are you going to use it everywhere in your organization, whether it is for a transactional use case in sales or service, or for analytical use case in Tableau, or for a prediction use case with the builder that you might have with a prediction model or a propensity score, or the agentic use cases that we are looking at across the board. So thank you.